I'm going to demonstrate the Iyengar approach to the practice of Sarvangasana, also known as shoulder stand. So in the Iyengar approach, we almost always will take some height under the shoulders to lessen the flexion of the neck. And at iYogaprops, we sell a prop specially designed for that purpose. It's these iYoga cushions, they're called, and you require 2 of them for the practice of shoulder stand, and they are set next to each other with the long edges together. And it's on this surface, and I'll demonstrate in a moment, that the shoulders rest and the head will be on floor level. Now, if you haven't got any of those, you can use anything really for that height under your shoulders. And it could be, in this case, I've got 3 of these thick yoga blankets. They form a really good surface also. Or you can use, pretty much anything that gives you about 5 or 6 centimetres of height. So you want about 5 or 6 centimetres of height under your shoulders. Okay, I'm going to use the cushions. Now, this is the approach that we use at this school. We will take one cushion, it's 30 centimetres wide, and we just set it next to the wall. And this is just to gauge a distance from the wall. Then I'll place the other cushion at that distance from the wall. And then I place them next to each other with long edges together. So they're about 1 foot out from the wall. And then I'm going to take another blanket, a blanket, doesn't it? This could be the mat folded over, your yoga mat folded over. I like using a blanket, and the blanket covers the 2 cushions, and it covers, importantly, this part of the mat, which is where the back of your head's going to lie. So we tend to like to have the head on a surface which is a little slippery rather than a sticky mat type surface. Now, the other essential prop in this method of practice is either a belt, which is going to hold the elbows shoulder width apart. So you would adjust the belt so that when just above the elbows are about shoulder width, the arms parallel. Or you could use, it's another iYogaprops thing, this Sarvangasana band, it's called, which does the same thing. But it's just got a little bit of flex in it, this one. It's also very broad, so some people have a bit of trouble with belt cutting into their flesh, and this lessens that tendencies. But either way, a belt or a band. I'll demonstrate it now with the shoulder stand band. So here's our setup. We're 1 foot out from the wall. I've got the 2 cushions, long edges together. I've got a little cover, cloth cover, blanket works fine. So from there, I wriggle up close to the wall, my bottom to the wall. I take my legs up the wall. I lay back and I should find that my shoulders are in from the edge of the cushion a few centimetres and my head hanging over the edge to the floor. I place the band or the belt, either way, on over one elbow. I hold the other end in my fingertips. I bend my knees and I lift my hips up. Now, it's important at this point that your shoulders do not slip off the elevated surface. So you may need to just step the shoulders in a little bit so you feel very firmly supported. Head is on the floor, shoulders are on the elevated surface. Once the hips are up, you can just keep your knees bent initially. You take the belt behind you, you slip the band or the belt onto the other arm above the elbows, and then we bring our hands onto the back ribs. Now, I've gone onto my tiptoes now, so that now my knees, my hips, my shoulders are in a vertical line, and I can get my hands down as deeply as possible onto my back. That's to say as close to my shoulder blades as possible. Now, it's easier to get grip on your back if you've got bare skin there. From there, I bring my feet, knees together. I can straighten one leg. I can straighten the other leg. And you can just proceed like this if you're new to the pose, alternating legs. But if you're able to hold the hips up, you can take both legs up. So we're looking to avoid this happening. All right, so better that you work with 1 foot on the wall to keep the hips vertically over the shoulders if you tend to drop back. But if you can, it's both legs to vertical, Sarvangasana or shoulder stand. From there, feet back to the wall. Take the belt off first and then slide back and down, and we are done.